This is going to flow smoothly one of these times. Why can't you hear me? What do you mean? Okay. Probably my phone was over, my hand was over the microphone. Okay. I already know what time to come. Okay. All right, we're going to be a little unorthodox on how we look at the stories this time. Okay, Kern, did I send all 4 of them to you? Let's see. Yes, I did. Okay, okay. Yeah, I sent you all 4. Yeah, yeah. You're good. You're good. Karen, I'm going to have you go ahead and request the box. I told you 2 and 4. So, huh? Hey, Ari. Yeah, Kern, 2 and 4. So, I think you looked on ABC, like in America, and not ABC in Australia. So that's what it probably was. And then let me go ahead and do my intro, and then we actually have a surprise. Okay, I have Charlie. I wanted Charlie to share his story. Charlie is somebody who he has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. He's one of the people that when I think of somebody who's inspiring on the app, he's like the ultimate one I think of, because anybody who's ever interacted with Charlie, you see that he's this positive person who never lets life get him down. And I think we all could learn something about that from Charlie. Thank you guys. Karen, you can go ahead and hit the box. And then what we will be sharing is talking to Kern and Ari about what inspires them and who inspires them, and then going over these stories and sharing these stories. Hey, Kern, I gotta look at which ones I told you real quick. Okay, you said 2 and 4, so I'm gonna go with 1 and okay.
We're trying to get the camera to work right. We had a issue.
Okay.
Just give me a moment. That's why it's like taking so long.
Right. Good.
So, yeah, hang on.
Where are we? Okay, just see. Okay, that's the last one. Okay. We're a little unorthodox this week, so my apologies, guys, but welcome. This is just a little girl talk Tuesdays at 8 with Miss Tawny. We share positive news, entertainment topics, and stories. The first story we are going to discuss is going to be about a man, Frank Baez, that is in New York. He worked as a janitor at the hospital in NYU, and then he went to school, got his degree in 15 months, and became a nurse. I liked the story because it kind of always reminded me that no matter what, as someone who is 41 years old and is trying to kind of have my second act in life as far as career. I was a single mother. I didn't go that path. I had kids. I got married. I didn't have the job. So much respect to anybody who things happen in life and you overcome it and you take those opportunities and you go for it. And I really admire that this man has done this and has bettered his life in this way. So
agreed. Yes, I know what that's like 100%. So it's not easy, but I think difficult situations it's a testimony, you know what I mean, to somebody's strength and what they're capable of doing and what they can overcome. You never know what you can overcome, right? If you've never been in this situation. So people say, I don't know if I could deal with that, but it's true, you don't know because you haven't been there. But believe me, when you don't have a choice, and your only choice is to cry and feel sorry for yourself or to lift yourself up, that's where it becomes easy, you know, to decide what you want to choose. Hey, Bambi. Hi, Sunshine. There it is. KK. Dougie.
And then just to introduce myself, for those who don't know me, I am Miss Tawny. I have been streaming on this app since 2019, on here since 2018. been a streamer and a gifter, and recently decided a few weeks ago to start this show. There's a lot of, good content creators, and I kind of wanted to find something I was interested in doing, and that's where the idea for this show came up. But I wanted to keep it positive. Like our guest tonight, Ari, she likes to take on, the topics that make you talk, and we love Ari, we respect her for that. I wanted to take on the ones that, were more lighthearted and more, like more relatable in a more positive sense.
Mhm.
So that was where I took that idea more.
Mhm.
And as far as Kern, we are going to have her tell her streaming story, and then actually share how she is an inspiration, things that she's overcome, obstacles she's overcome in her life as well.
Right. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna be a little vulnerable with you guys for a minute, if I can. All right, so let's start my story. From where I came to where I am now, right? 16 years ago, I had a son. Things got very stressful because right after I had him, I realized I was sick a lot. And I couldn't understand what was going on, but something about the pregnancy triggered something called Crohn's disease. It's a debilitating, incurable disease. What that is it's an autoimmune disease. It attacks the intestines. So malabsorption, can't absorb food, and just all the stresses of having a new baby and going through that were on the weight of my shoulders, right? And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, my son wasn't hitting milestones. He wasn't talking. He was lining everything up in successions on the floor, doing things that normal children are not atypical children tend to do. And I thought, oh, this is odd, but I don't know. I didn't see it as anything but, oh, that's odd behavior. He's just very eccentric. I'm eccentric. So for me, it didn't seem too weird, except for when we hit about 2 and 3 years old, right? And we were not speaking. And I had not only the Crohn's disease to deal with at the time, I was all alone. I was married, but my counterpart was going for an ownership of a restaurant. I can't name it here, but he was doing that, and we weren't in that kind of relationship. So I did it all myself while being sick. And they had told me that he was never going to speak. He said, no, he's extremely brilliant, but he has apraxia, probably won't speak. And at that moment, I said, oh no, you're not going to tell me what he will and will not do because you don't know. So I stuck every ounce of my being into learning ASL, which is American Sign Language, for those of you who don't know, researching autism, researching as much as I could, learning every instrument I could to try to bring this out of him, to try to get him to speak to me. And anyway, even if it was just noises or humming and singing, before I know it, I would sing something and he would start humming, then the hummings turned into words. So at one point, the child wasn't speaking, he would sing song everything, like, I'm going to the bathroom, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And he wouldn't say anything, but we would sing to each other all the time. And then little by little, he just started talking. And then I was like, never let anybody tell you that this is not going to be happening. You got to fight, right? So after all of that, and then I got better. Things were great for a while, but I saw all my time into helping children on the spectrum, and not just with music. I was going to be a music therapist, but then I was like, I want to be able to do more than that. Sure, anybody can come in and play guitar or play some music or sing or whatever, do that, but I want to do something more fulfilling than that. So that's when I started my journey of being an ITDS. And then we fast forward to these times, right? Where we had a flare up for the last 2 years. I had a daughter. I have a daughter. She is going to be 4. Same situation happened again. A year after her birth, I got very sick again. Got very thin, lost my hair. It was happening again. Same thing. And I was like, okay, now we're sure that this is what triggers it. So no more children for me. But the Crohn's disease happened, and then same thing. shortly after she was diagnosed again. And in the interim of all of this, in my research of all of this, I had started to notice that some of the things that they were saying, some of the categories, some of the red flags as an adult that I am finding myself very familiar with. I'm finding commonality with it and things starting to make sense. Why I have this or why I have trouble with eye contact. All of these things are existing incoherently with each other. I started researching and I thought, oh my gosh. So then I know I was in special needs my whole life. I had been in special needs classes, but they thought that very much like Einstein, that I was disabled mentally, that I was not capable. They actually told Einstein, who is also diagnosed on the spectrum, that he was incapable and actually medically homebound him. Said he is not going to ever learn. He's dyslexic. He is not going to thrive in this world. He does not belong in this. Well, I come to find out after all these years, and I've been in special needs, that I can do playing 12 instruments, doing this or doing that, and being able to problem solve like I do and mentalize everything that I do. Actually turns out that I also am on the spectrum, which makes sense because it's hereditary. And I'm what's called a rare form of autism, which is called savantism, which means my brain works fast, really, really fast. But it can cause stress, it can cause discernment issues, it can cause all kinds of anxieties for me. It's hard for me to talk to the average person because of it. I have to really pull out of myself and watch what I do very carefully so as to not upset or seem like I don't care about people when that is not the case. Actually, I have tons of empathy. But in the journey, so this is all where it comes full circle, guys. So to wrap it up for you right here with a little pretty bow. Currently, we are not in a flare-up. We are healed. We are working past, I have some surgeries, but we're persevering. I am taking care of now my daughter who is nonverbal currently. She is very smart, knows multiplication, everything else. You would think, how? You work with them. You put that time in. Never let the world tell you you can't. Okay? No matter how grim things seem, just know that it's not over till it's over. And just fight it. Fight it every part of your being. Don't let it ever define you. And I have it. And if I can get through it and I can come on here and I can sing and I can dance and I have all this going on, so can anyone. I really believe it just takes the strength inside of you to say, no, not today. We're gonna rise above it today.
Okay. Yeah.
That's above it,
Thank
baby.
you. Right.
Rise above
Thank you
it.
for sharing. Yeah, she is definitely an inspiration. I think the things in my life that have kind of personally happened for me to overcome, anybody who knows me knows that I take a while to get to know you before I open up to you. But to just for sharing purposes, one of the hardest things I've been through in my life was I was in an abusive relationship for 2.5 years. I really don't get into it. I don't talk about it. It was bad. It was like literally, you leave me and I'm going to kill you type of situation. And I thankfully, you get in that situation and you get to where you believe all that. And it was all just, talk as far as that, but you never know. You don't want to take the chance to find out if it's just talk. And finally, eventually, my kids, and I'm very lucky I never got in the situation where I lost my kids or he ever did anything to my kids, because he did live with me. But it was bad. And I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want this for my life. I don't want to deal with somebody like this for the rest of my life
any longer. I'd rather not. I'd rather walk away and forget the investment, forget the pot committed. We all get into these, and I've been in the same situation where you're pot committed to this person. Now you have so much invested and you're wondering, should I even walk away? I have so much, but you're actually making it worse. So to just walk away, be brave.
Anybody that truly loves you is not going to do something like that to you. If you truly love somebody, love doesn't hurt. You're not going to hurt them. And it took me a while and went through a lot, and therapy obviously for years too. And I'm good. This was a long time ago. This is like 2012. So I'm in a good headspace now. But as far as that goes, I think that's probably one of the biggest things The other thing is actually on a total uh, another plane is when I was born missing 2/3 of my right lung. I thankfully didn't have any like asthma or anything after it. You know, I got lucky in that sense. I had like exercise induced asthma as a kid, but I kind of grew out of it. But I kind of was like, I had to have that surgery or I would have died. So like the only thing I have to it to show from this day is scars. So if all I have is like physical scars and I don't have any health, issues
Health
because of it,
issues, right? That
it,
transpired,
yeah,
right?
right.
But I think that's so hard, and people underestimate. They're like, why did you stay? Why did you do this? And I know you and I have spoken about this. I've been through the same thing, surviving a narcissist, which is very difficult because it does literally change the way you view yourself. You question if everything they said was true, if you're this and you're that. And there's only so many times, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Miss Tawny, that you've been told this, and you've been told you're ugly, you've been told you're worthless, you've been told you're nothing at all. So you start believing that.
Mhm.
It's hard. And you don't, I always suggest getting therapy because you don't realize what is done to you until it's done. And you've
Mhm.
wondered, have I just stayed because I was not brave enough to leave? I think I was too scared of what would happen.
But I think in these instances, you can become an inspiration to people because you can find somebody in this situation, you can help them and be like, look, I've been there. I know you may feel like hopeless, like you're never going to be out of a situation, but I promise you, you have to fight and you will get through this and your life will be better and you will thrive and you have so much more ahead that you're not going to allow this person who brought you down for all this time to have that power over your life.
Over
You're
your
going to
life.
achieve more. And
Right. You want
in
more for yourself than that. Don't settle. Don't stay there no matter how. Okay, so this is really important. You really bring up a really great point, and the point is this: pick your heart. Okay? Is it hard to stay? Yes. Is it hard to leave? Yes. Pick your heart, guys. Because no matter what you do in life, if it's worth having, it's going to be difficult. It's got to be. And it's okay if you fail because failure means you've done something bigger than yourself. If you failed, you've learned. You're learning. Just, it's hard. So pick your heart. Is it harder to stay? Is it harder to leave? Everything's going to be hard. So pick your heart.
and briefly on the notion of like do you have this person in your life, are you friends with them? Of course no, you move on from this person, they're not in your life, it's
You
not
try
safe
to.
for you to
You definitely
continue.
try. There are
But
circumstances you
like
can't.
you be like you if I had to have a conversation with this person, it would be like, you know what, like we're past all this, I don't want you in my life, but I wish that you will get help, I wish you well. I have not had any interactions with this person since 2012, but if for some reason I did approach this person, I would have the conversation. Would I feel safe approaching this person on my own, one on one? Absolutely not. But I would find a way to talk to him, in a safe manner if that situation ever was brought up again. So, but okay, then we're going to our second story. There's this surgeon that he lost his legs to sepsis and how it taught him to kind of overcome life. I have known people that
Mhm.
have had diabetes, have been in
Yes.
wheelchairs, have had different illnesses. And you really respect people who go through things like that and still have that positive attitude that nothing in life is going to get them down and still overcome and thrive and inspire people and want to help people. And I think that's a better way to approach it. So,
Yeah. I mean, I just think people, everybody's going through something. You know what I mean? And whether it be physical, whether it be in their lives, everybody's going through something. You got to know that you're not alone. You're not alone in your fight, whatever it is. There's always a fight to be had. And as long as we realize that that fight does not define us, we can rise above that fight. And don't be scared. Don't be scared, guys, to do that. Don't be scared to want more for yourself than that. It's okay.
and before we bring in Ari, I'm going to have you talk about your show and about your upcoming events, and then we will have a conversation with Miss Ari.
Okay, so we've got a lot going on. Friday, I have to look. If you give me one moment, I don't remember the exact time. I think it's 6:40. Friday, I have an autism awareness auction I am in, and that's going to be Friday at 6:30. I think it is 6:30. I have to look. That's going to be autism awareness auction, which I am so grateful to be in. I plan on taking some of whatever I get to donate to Autism Speaks Foundation. Um, so I will be doing that. And we do got an upcoming show. We're still trying to work out the little things. We have some really good feedback. We're going to have some connections happening. So stay tuned to that. That will be Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And I hope to see you guys there. And I'll probably be coming back, yes, for the other 2 articles. Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to go in the comments. Bye.
All right. And quickly, as far as my events, I have Smurfy's Star Wars auction on the 5th. I am not sure of the time. I will post it. And then I have Kitty Commander's tinfoil hat challenge. Hey, girl, on the 13th. And then I have Good Listeners Prosperity Auction on the 20th. And then this show, Just Little Girl Talk, every Tuesday at 8. But for those of you who don't know, this is the amazing Miss Ari. She has her own show on the app. She has been an admin for Chris. You will see her in Suited Up. And she has Unpopular Opinions Sundays at 12. But Ari, go ahead and let us know about your show and your streaming story before we talk about what you've overcome in your life.
So good evening, everyone. I just jumped in just got home, and I'm gonna talk about my story today. Why I just got home, why I look like I'm coming from a Southern Belle gathering. Um, but I'm already Miss Secretary. I've been on the platform since 2019, kind of before COVID. Friend invited me here to watch her stream, and then during COVID, I kind of like got into it, built community, got involved, and I've been here. I love the platform. I love everyone. I try to love on everyone, even when they do bad. I try to see the good in everyone because we all have come short of things. We all have, made mistakes, and we all need some inspiration. We all need to be inspired, you know. So I do have a show every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, the noonday one. In the words of Chris, not the sleepy one. It's called Unpopular Opinions. We kind of get into, stuff going on, talk about it, voice the opinion, and yeah. So
Do you have any upcoming events?
I was supposed to be in an auction Friday, in Smurfy's auction Friday, and then I was supposed to be on Midge's show Saturday, but publicly I will apologize. I spoke to them. I cannot do it due to my line of work, which I'll get into very soon. Just to give a fun fact about me, but please, if anyone knows Smurfy or Madge, please go support their events that they have this weekend. I won't be able to be in attendance like I was supposed to, but we got to do some work.
Okay, now we'll get into your backstory of things you've overcome in your life and what you find inspiration in and what makes you an inspirational person.
So for me, back in, and then I don't talk about this on stream as much, but I do tell the story because it's very close to me. As we all know, we've all experienced loss in our lives. It's real. It's something that day to day that we deal with, and sometimes we can't really find the way to get through it. Um, Back in the early 2000s, 2010 actually, I'll be exact to say, my brother got into a car accident where the car overcorrected. He flipped, and unfortunately, due to circumstances of his injuries, he did not make it. I am a girl out of 7 siblings, and he was one of my middle brothers. And the thing about it for me was um, the questions, the questions, the whys. And me, I come from a family that's full of faith. I'm a southern girl, so we come from a place of Baptist. We all have our different beliefs, what we believe in. But we were taught during sorrow, you don't question why it happened. You just pray to get through it. Through the years, I couldn't understand it. I could not understand it. I'm like, I just lost my brother. My family is an amazing family. Why my family? You know, out of all families, all these people doing bad stuff, why mine? And I had to think that I had to remind myself that your brother is not yours. He doesn't belong to you. He was here for a season to shine in y'all lives, and he had to go back where he came from. And I always think of it that way. That he was here for a season. He didn't belong to us. He was here. And through the years, I really I went through counseling, we went to church, because it started to bother me as I got older, high school and stuff. I'm like, I wish my brother would be here. You know what I'm saying? And it was a very difficult thing. Till to this day, I still had struggled with grief. I didn't understand how to grieve. You're young, 13 years old, trying to figure out how to grieve over, someone that's dear to you. How do you tell a child how to grieve over a sibling? And I was so angry. I had so much anger build up in me that I didn't know how to channel it out. It wasn't until 2017 that I realized, okay, there's something that I have a ministry for. To be inspired, I started to enjoy science. Well, nobody would ever take a guess. I decided that when I graduated that I wanted to go to school to be a funeral director. So I went to school for funeral directing. And in funeral directing, I found myself healing through helping other people get through the process of grieving. And I inspire myself sometimes, because sometimes I'm thinking to myself, like, are you really doing this line of work? Like, are you crazy? You lose, like, my birthday is this week, and I said I was with a family today just to find out that they want to have a service this weekend. Now, Friday is the service is 2 hours away from here. I'm like, oh my God, I already have plans. This is my birthday weekend. But work is called. It's my ministry. And that's what separates the work from the ministry. This is ministry. This is my healing. And this is how I got through healing and dealing with the loss of my brother. Now, it's been many years since he's been gone. And some would say, okay, well, whatever. You should be over that by now. But I won't say that. I will say that working as a funeral director and being able to help families get through grief has helped me a whole lot, and I'm able to talk about it more now. So it's a quote that I always say, that I've always, it gets me through. I have it at work on the wall. Sorrow looks back, worry looks around, but faith looks up. And that doesn't have to actually mean death. That can mean anything. You can be in sorrow because someone left you that you were dating. Don't worry about it. The worry that you worry if this person's going to come back to me and be in my life. Don't worry about it. Hold on to your faith. Look up. Look ahead. Stand strong. Be inspired. That's my story. It might not be important to nobody else, but that's what inspires me. And that's why I do the things that I do. So,
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I did not know about you. That was an amazing story. So
thank you so much for allowing me to speak on it. It's very vulnerable moment for me. I mean, it used to take years before I could even talk about it without really crying, and sometimes I do get emotional,
Yeah, well, understandably, yeah.
but I've
But
grown a lot.
mhm,
So
mhm,
yeah, I've grown a lot.
yeah. Well, we love you. Thank you so much, Ari. You
Love
guys,
you as
favorite
well,
Ari, check her
y'all.
out, Unpopular Opinions, Sundays at noon.
Thank you so much. I love you all.
Right. All right, so Kern. All right, wow. She was an amazing guest, you guys. So glad we had her come in and share. But yes, so the story so far, like we all have, our ways of handling everything. And, you never know where you can find inspiration and how you can be inspired in life. Actually, in relation to the quote she shared, one of my favorite quotes is actually lyrics from a song. You guys will probably know the song as soon as I say the lyrics, but I keep this in mind when I get discouraged because I'm usually a very driven person when it comes to my career life, my goals in life. And I always like think of this quote when I get discouraged because I know recently I was sharing that I've been working towards a particular job opportunity for about a year now, and I finally got an opportunity that I found out about today that I'm, very blessed and thankful for. But I keep this quote in mind because I did honestly get a little discouraged when I didn't get the previous opportunity. But what it is hold on, dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone take them away. You guys will know, it'll click like, yeah, that's a song. It's lyrics from yes, from Hero by Mariah Carey, but I always think of that line when I get discouraged in relation to, keeping my drive and keeping, driven towards wanting to be successful and achieving. You can always improve in life and always strive for better and to do better. So the current I'm gonna go ahead and have you hop back in the box for the other two stories.
Hey,
All
we're
right.
back.
Okay. What did you think of Miss Ari?
Oh gosh, what an inspiration. She's just amazing. Obviously, from the first time I seen her, she's just magnetic. I love her outlook on things, her positive energy that she just gives off. And she's just so loving. And also, I relate to that. Both my parents worked in the funeral homes, believe it or not. That was part of, big adversity growing up when you have your parents working this. So I understand where that comes from, where the love of it comes from. My mom is a funeral director for over 40 something years. My dad and both my all eventually also worked in hospice. So it's pretty much been surrounded by me my entire life. So I know the struggles and I know how important it is because you're not promised tomorrow. And I know how that period of life can be because it used to affect my parents all the time and I had to deal with it uh, like a dominoes effect, secondhandly. So it's not easy, but it's for people who can help people. It's only for I think God puts people in situations. Special people have special situations, so it's not for everybody. So if it's for her and it works for her, then that says a lot. You know what I mean? It's not everybody does not can work with special kids. Not everybody can, like I can. And everybody can help somebody through one of, I don't know, the worst times in their lives. If you think about it, she's literally getting these people at their worst. And she's got to somehow manage that. And I I don't know if I can do it if I stood where she stood, but I respect her so much more now. I already respect her because she's a boss. But this takes it to another level, I think, for me. Hats off. So much respect,
Mhm.
Ari. Yeah.
Mm. And one thing to keep in mind before we get into these other stories, um, is that even when you're on your streams, like just keep in mind everybody who comes into your stream who you can interact with, you never know. Something as simple as somebody's going through something and they share their story with you, or they're having a bad day and you reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, you know, that one of your favorite people, one of your friends, you know,
I'm
uh,
so sorry.
whether what it is, you know, if you
You
have
can
a
mute me for a second.
boyfriend,
I
a
have.
girlfriend, a situationship on here, you know, if you enjoy talking to that person, but just something as simple as people who like, you know, can like cheer you up and, you know, brighten your day and make you smile. Even something like that in a low key way can be inspirational.
So sorry, Tawny. This is what happens when you adopt dogs. I have huskies. My heart's bigger than my common sense. Like, don't have 4 huskies, but here we are. So, okay. So for the next story, go ahead. I'm waiting on you. We'll get it.
Yeah, Kern's going to go ahead and share the other 2 stories for us. She'll share the one, we'll discuss that one, and then the
Okay, which
other
one do you want me
so.
to share first?
The one about the 73-year-old lady in
Okay.
Australia.
So she's an elder lady, right? She grew up always loving knowledge, thirsting for knowledge, right? And she always wanted this in her life. She was always the kind of person, from my reading of the passage, that thirsted for knowledge and never felt like she could get enough. And I understand that resonates with myself. Like, nothing's better than some research, swear to God, for me. So she thirsted for this knowledge, right? And at some point, you know, she told herself, I was going to do this, I was going to do that, I was going to do this. And unfortunately, she never got the chance to, because at a very young age, she had to be pulled out of high school, right? Her mother worked at a sweatshop, and they were barely making ends meet, and she couldn't afford the books and the clothes and what was necessary for her to maintain to continue going through high school, right? So she had to pull back from that. And unfortunately, she still had that wonder in her, you know what I mean? That want to just, you know, I don't need to go to school, but I want to. So she ended up eventually saying, even if it was 3-4 decades later or more, going back and saying, no, this is not for prosperity. This is not because I'm trying to do this or that. This is something I want to do for myself. This is a goal. This is a self-achievement that I want to know that I did. And that being the case, hold on. Sorry, we're that being the case, she decided, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this because this is something I always dreamed I can do. I want to know that I can get it done. 16-year-old. Sorry. So basically, all in all, she did, right? She was able to meet her achievement. She went back at 73 years old, guys. Could you imagine? She felt so out of place. She's like, oh, all these people. She said, I felt really weird at first because all these people were so much younger than her. Like, what is this grandma doing here? But in the end, she ended up having so much, so people around her seeing her, they thought maybe she was a teacher, you know, or she's very old. And people were like, what is she doing here? And when they found out what she was doing and that she was getting after her education to hire better herself, even though she was so much older, people embraced her, loved her, helped her, navigated things with her, and she graduated. And in the end, it just basically tells you guys, what does that say to you guys? It says that don't let age stop you. Don't let anything stop you from accomplishing your goals. There is no time limit on it. As long as there is air in your lungs and a heart that beats, you can accomplish it. So, hey, she accomplished her goal. 73, guys. Could you imagine? Even now, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'd be an old lady out of college. But you know what? It just goes to show you, hey, why not? Really? The question is, why not? Not if you should. Why won't you? She can do it. You guys can do it. So there you go. That's what I learned.
I think about this story.
Stop stealing the cookies.
It actually reminds me of my my grandparents, who they worked in like department stores. There used to be a store called Woolco, and my grandma was like the stay-at-home mom, and then my grandpa was like in charge of like, management in relation to Wilco's. Not a store that's around anymore, but they were kind of like, paycheck to paycheck for their whole lives. And then eventually, after he did that for a long time, he got the opportunity they got into the nursery business, and that's where they kind of turned their lives around. And they were in their 50s, 60s at this point.
Mhm.
But they had the opportunity where they built themselves over years. They went from paycheck to paycheck to becoming millionaires. Not that that's the level that you have to get to, but the fact that they came from so little, that they always raised all the grandkids and instilled in us that you always have to be grateful, because you never know what life can throw at you, what will happen, and that you always have to be determined to achieve and overcome. I think it's a big reason why I've always, even if I get sidetracked, always remain a very driven person,
You have to,
because
yeah.
I know that, yes, I may be doing well, I may be successful, but I never know if something's going to happen, an obstacle, or life is going to knock me down, and I'm going to have to build myself back up
That's up again,
and
right?
start all over again. But this woman, the fact that she did this at 73, and she's like, I'm not just going to retire. I'm going
Right?
to,
She just
make
kept
the
going.
best of my life. I'm going to crush this opportunity, and I'm going to live my best life.
Hmm. And she did it, right? She's like, no, I don't care. I know that I'm elderly. I don't care at this point. You know what? Even though she's like, it's not like she's going to be able to go get a job and perform at a job. It was not about that for her. It wasn't about the performance. It was about the fact of the matter that she could do it. So she wanted to.
And then the other story was actually in relation to, I don't know if any of you have a bucket list. I personally, I haven't started one yet, because to me it's like, I know it's like, a cool thing to think of, in the lines of having a bucket list, but to me it kind of thinks like, okay, if I'm gonna have a bucket list, does that mean I'm supposed to go like make a will now? Like, I don't know, I have like an odd like
No,
thought
you're right.
process
And you know
in
what?
relation
It's
to
so
it.
crazy
But I
to
know
tell you
one day
because
I will make.
nobody wants to think about
Mhm.
the end. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to kind of stay in the sense like,
Yeah.
well, I'm still this age. I'm still almost, like me, I'm 39. I don't need to do that. But you never know. So you don't want to leave that on your family. You don't want to. I'm sure Ari could talk plenty about the importance of that and how families end up ripping each other apart against certain things like this. I'm telling you, I've seen it personally, and she probably deals with it all the time. So it's important to me. Bucket live. Make sure you have those goals. Make sure you are just doing whatever you want with whatever is in physical reach of you. Don't be scared to reach it. Just do it. What do you got to lose? You know what I mean? If you can do it, then do it. Don't wait.
Definitely, yeah. If you think about wanting to make one, definitely make one. I have bucket lists as far as like travel. Like, I think, I would love the opportunity to live in another country. I've never lived in another country. I've always lived in the United States. I'd like that experience and culture of living in another country and getting that experience for my life. And as far as travel, I've always wanted to go to China, Japan. My number one place is Italy. That is like the number one of the number one all these years. That's been the number one. London, France, just different places. Caribbean, Hawaii. So probably some South America. So just kind of, but
I always
obviously,
wanted to go to Hawaii. Hawaii
this is
sounds
when
like it
we
would
know
be
we're
fun.
more financially successful in life.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I think we all do. I think that's
Mhm.
awesome. And I mean, I hope one day I get to do that too. You know what I mean? I'm not in the financial situation just yet to do that, but I think so too.
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling, you know, do you want me to go on to the next one or do you want me to wait for that one? I think that's a good transition.
Yeah. The next story is about these two 80-year-old ladies from Texas. So, and what they did.
Yes. So these two 80-year-old ladies, they met each other 2 decades. They didn't really know each other that, but they knew each other long enough. And they just said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it like the gone around the world in 80 days. And they said, let's do it. Yes, they had anniversary. Their knees are given out. They had the hip replacements. They even slept in the airport, guys, to go see the Northern Lights. I'll tell you what, Tani, that's on my bucket list. If I have a bucket list, the Northern Lights is one of them. Just to sit there and all of them, and just take it and breathe it all in for me. That's definitely there. But it's incredible. 80 years old, and they just said, yeah, we're gonna go do it, because why not? I mean, what do we got to lose at this point? You know, we're old, we're gonna do it. And they were so inspirational that they started, obviously it got around in the news that they were just doing all these accolades, seeing all the places that they always wanted to see, and they did it together. And nothing can stop them. Like, hey, don't you feel like you might be too old to do it? But again, this is another testament to, you're never too old to start living, even if you feel like your life's already passed you by. You never know what life has in store for you guys. So these two together, Thelma and Louise, you know, kind of duo, and they're just so freaking cute together. Hat bloom rides, Northern Lights, airport sleep-ins. They're sleeping in sleeping bags in some of this. I don't know if you saw the whole thing. It was crazy. I was like, hey, I was cheering them on. I wanted to be a part of what they were doing. I was like, hey, I want to do that. That'll be fun, you know?
Yeah, they took 80 days to go around the world. I know they went to like Egypt. They went to some different places as well. So that's another place I didn't think about, like Egypt and the pyramids and the Sphinx and all that. And closest I've been is, you know, the hotel in Las Vegas. And no, it's no. I haven't been to Egypt, but I know that the hotel schemes in Vegas compared to the actual places, it's not the same. So
No. So what places
but
have you
definitely,
visited,
yeah.
Connie?
Oh, and
What
never let age.
What places have you visited?
I've only been around the United States.
Mhm.
I've been in, as far as Florida, I've been in Orlando, Cocoa Beach, and Clearwater and Tampa. Um, I've only driven through like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. I live in Texas. I've been different places in Texas. I think where else? Oklahoma. I've only been as far as the casino, but it's a cool casino. I'm from California.
Like I went to play.
So we vacationed a lot in Vegas. Yeah. Driven through and driven and flown through Arizona, driven through New Mexico. But my family really, our travels centered, you know, kind of throughout California as a kid. But
So you did a
definitely, I don't
lot
know
of
what I'll be
traveling.
doing when I'm 80.
Fun,
I
though.
think I'm cool enough to be taking all these really cool adventures when I'm 80. And then I'm not just, you know, like being a homebody sitting, you know, and at home, or if I live in a facility somewhere, like, you know, just
I wouldn't
not
want to. Right.
not
Like,
taking, you know, embracing life, and, you know, just watching Golden Girls or whatever in a facility. So, you know,
yeah, that would be no. So then the plan would be, well, I'd probably have the same plan as me. I want to get an RV, like eventually when I'm older, and just travel in my RV, so I'm home no matter where I go. And I just see all the beautiful things this world has to offer, all the sights, all the nature, all the phenomenons, all of it, and just explore the world and get to see all that. Why not, right? Like, my kids are grown and all that's done. I mean, what do I share with the world? I want to see it all. I want to be a part of it. I
right.
think that, you know, why not, right? Let's go, Tony. That's our 10-year plan. That's our 50-year plan. Tony and I get an RV and travel the world. Like these two
Oh,
girls.
I hope I live 50 more years. No, I should live 50 more years.
Yeah,
91.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope. 40, 30, 40. Let's hope.
Yeah. And
Blessed be my
we obviously hope
multi-God
all the
years.
people that are around in our lives. Yeah. We hope all the people that are in our lives now are still obviously going to be in our lives in 40 years. You never know. People come and go, but if you build friendships and bonds with people, obviously you hope that they're going to stay around and they're going to stay in your life. But, you know, things happen and people, you know, move on, and I think like Kern said earlier, I definitely feel that, you know, every people come into your life for a reason. Not
Yeah.
everybody thinks that way, but I
I think
definitely
everything
think that people
happens
were
for a
brought
reason.
into your life for a reason.
Some are for seasons, some are for keeps,
Yeah.
some are for lessons. You either taught them or they taught you. So I think that even the ones you're like, I don't understand why it never worked out with this person. Maybe eventually, if you're lucky, God will let you know why. Maybe it's not meant for you.
Mhm.
So just know whatever happens in your life, it was not meant for you. Even if it feels like it's a sad situation that you would rather not be in, you were learning from it. They learned from it, and it wasn't for you. So don't stay in that place, guys. Don't stay there, because there's something so much better for you.
Mhm.
Right, Tony? Get in there.
And
Tony
quickly,
Boy and Smoke Rings.
quickly, some simple things that I can find in the day to day that inspire me. There's people in my life every day that inspire me. My kids, my family, even sometimes my coworkers at times. Something is, is like going and just like, sitting on a beach somewhere when I have the opportunity of having a peaceful day. I find being near water, very peaceful and therapeutic, and I've always, enjoyed that. Growing up in California, like going to the beach was always a big part of, of life. But something as simple, you can watch, one of your favorite movies can have, things in it and inspire you. Your favorite songs, just, your favorite book, just different. They're all different things in life that
Anything and
inspire you. It's
anything
just
can
what
inspire you.
personally inspires you.
Yes, I believe. Yes, exactly. Music, books,
Mhm.
anything. Even movies can inspire you. Like, you know what? That seems like such a. I'm gonna do that. People. I find people to be certain people very inspirational. You know what I mean? That before I wasn't thinking like this, but now I see this person. They kind of they can even bring the best out of you, make you want to be the best version of yourself, because you just want to. You know what I mean? You're just around them. Certain people can literally affect you, and they can take the good or the bad. You're welcome. Oh God, I'm sorry. So uh, I think that's important. We're not used to this.
Well, I can say, even in the time that I've been on here, and the friendships, and the people that I've connected with on here, I can definitely say there's some that have impacted my life. There's some
Yeah,
that are newer. There's some that have been around me, for a long time. And I think, that I thrive on, having those kind of interactions and relationships with people, all for, we all want to be our best and inspire each other. And
yeah, and we all
it's not that difficult to be a good person.
no, and it's free. You see, that's the best thing about kindness. I tell this to everybody on my streams, guys. Kindness is free. You never know what anyone is going through, so just be like Oprah. You get some kindness. You get some kindness. You get some kindness. Everybody, why not? What? And I know that this is very true on here. When you're meeting lots of nice people and beautiful souls on here, you meet the good in with the bad. Just like life, you take the good in with the bad. So just know, hurt people usually either hurt others, or sometimes they help others, like you, like me. And just surround yourself with all that. Sorry.
Mhm.
So I think that's important. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, yeah. So that's important to be the person you want other people to be with you. That's my advice, honestly, when it comes to loving, giving love, getting love, which is what my hearts stand for, is give love, get love, treat people the way you want to be treated, guys. Be kind. And you don't know what you're gonna find on here. It's incredible. You just find the most incredible people. So it's worth it. Give it a try. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
get out there and meet people.
We find, mhm. Find,
So
people like Kern, people like Splooge, people like
people like Miss
Nemo,
Tawny, go ahead and hit her
probably
with a
people
favorite.
like Sunshine. Hit Kern with that favorite. But yeah, there is certain people that even in your app journey, that you can be inspired by, other streamers to even in relation to your app goals. You see other people doing cool stuff, and you know what? I got these ideas that I want to do some cool stuff on my streams. I want to strive to have different content and do better. Or you see how, even in relation to how some people are, better at how they treat people on here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I could be a nicer person. I could have better interactions and treat people better. and we all can learn from each other. You think about people's journeys, that that are really inspiring on here, what you've seen. You think of, like someone like, Chris, who went from a streamer to, to getting the show, to becoming an admin, for his DJ work, somebody like Chris. We think of people, like Hoops and Triple L and Kitty and Nemo, who fought their way on here for years and then finally, got to where they deserve to be. And like kudos and props. We love all of them. They are all awesome. And
the journey
you
that
know,
you go on. And I think you're right with that. You know what I mean? I think that our goals in life should always be, this is just my perception now, not advising, perception. Always try to be better than you were yesterday, and know that that's what I do. I try to be better than what I was yesterday, and I know I'm not the best at what I want to be, but I know I'm on my way. I'm always going to try to be better than I was.
But this has been just a little girl talk. We had Ari as our guest. We had Kern as our guest co-host. This was about being inspirational. We were supposed to have a segment of one additional guest, but I didn't hear what happened. So I'll follow up with him, make sure he's okay after the show. But yes, definitely favorite Kern, favorite me. We'll be back next Tuesday, 8 Eastern, as far as the guests and the topics. I haven't figured that out yet, but we will figure that part out. But nice to meet you. I've enjoyed having you guys here. We are going to return to, goofy, regular show.
Is it done? Are we done? Are we good? Can we act stupid now?
We're good, yes.
Okay, good. So we can play. That's my friend. I want sunshine. You should favor.
I don't want to be in the box no more.
No, okay. I don't have to be in the box anymore.
Yeah, okay.
But we're gonna go eat some cookies and get into trouble.
Okay. I get so confused because he looks like Raj.
I know, but he's cuter. Sorry, Raj. I know Raj was in here. I'm sorry, Raj. I mean, I'm just gonna have. They're not gonna split hairs here, but I kind of am. Yeah. Did
He
you?
was the one you did the party for.
The party for, right? Yeah, I gave him a party.
Well, no, because it was on my birthday. That's why.
Yes. I mean, now that I've gotten
I wanted to see it, but it was on my birthday.
Oh, it was Oh man, Tawny, it was so lit. There were so many beautiful, talented performers. But even though I had all that going on, I think it went on from like 7 to like 10. It was insane, or 11. And then I came by and loved on all of y'all after I helped host that. That was insane. It was crazy. I am. No pants party. Sorry. I heard there's no kidding. I'll talk to you
all
about
no pants parties now?
Yeah. No, apparently I underestimated. Never mind.
Did you just say that as a Nemo?
No, Nemo. Nemo.
I see Nemo, so I'm gonna think of no pants party.
No pants party.
You guys keep it in mind when everybody's streaming. If they don't stand up and dance or something, if they're sitting their whole stream, you don't know. Are they sitting because they don't have any pants on and they can't get up? Or they just because they're having the chill vibe stream?
We may or may not have put on shorts that we probably should not be wearing. You ever have that? Like you underestimate the shorts. So I'm like, there'll be no dancing tonight. I gotta talk to you about something.
And you guys, have you guys heard about this whole, they updated a lot of the terms and conditions recently? There was the one in relation to it used to be if you were near a pool or a beach or whatever, then obviously you could be in a bathing suit because you knew what you were doing. Well, now you can't stream in a bathing suit. It's so if I go to the pool, I'm supposed to be fully clothed at the pool the whole time. If I want to stream like that, that's some goofiness. But it is what it is. And then this whole weird deal where you're not supposed to show your knees and stuff. I get feet because the weirdos with feet pics and all that. But knees, Since when are
I
knees
show my
of
knees all
some
the
weird
time.
erogenous zone that I'm not
I,
aware
I
of?
think that's weird. I show my knees like
Burn
when
curtain.
neck. We can't show necks. Like we can't
Ooh,
like
Nemo's gonna get you.
what?
Nemo had this conversation yesterday. Don't show your knees. I will get banned. You will get banned.
Are you serious? If you show your knees? This is new. That one's new. I knew about the feet, but I did not know about the knees. That's incredible. That's crazy. What next?
I mean, what do they think? You're gonna like pan up and show your junk? Is like that they're thinking
like if
on
you
it,
do, then
or
even then,
I
just
mean,
an
like maybe some
expectation,
show their
like,
junk on stream. I don't show my junk on stream. We're good. Yeah.
no, nobody needs to see that.
Sometimes we're bending over doing things and we get sidetracked and we flash on occasion, not intentionally.
Sometimes
like,
coconut
it
balls
happens,
come
you
off.
know.
Sometimes we
So
have to adjust and get banned when we're versing people. Tawny. Hi, girl.
oh, you know the best part, you guys, is I've worn that shirt like multiple times since then, you know, because I just kind of be like, I want to be like, ha ha, this is what you banned me in, you know, and I'm still wearing it. But no, I don't say that. But I think about it, I was like, I've worn that outfit like times since then, and like nothing. I'm like, this makes no sense.
Makes no sense why all of a sudden it would be, you know what I mean, a problem.
Yeah. Or like speaking of Ari the other day, she came in a Nemo stream and she's talking about how she got banned for like she wasn't even driving. She was walking to her car.
I've heard about
and
this on the app.
they banned her for driving.
It's so stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out of your box.
And then I heard another streamer who told me that, all right, girl,
I'm just gonna go get some milk and some butter at the store really quick.
And everybody,
Tanya, I love you and I adore you, cutie pie.
Awesome.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Love you. We adore you too. But yeah, there was another streamer who she was sitting streaming and like, you know, at her house, and then they banned her for driving. I'm like, huh? That don't even make any sense, you know? Thank you. Yeah, we had our first guest, you know, that was supposed to share, but like I said, I'll follow up with him and find out, you know, I was looking forward to his story. So maybe in, you know, some future instance, you know, we can figure out something with him again at another time. So, but we are working on planning to finally do the 3 milli party and the late birthday party together. So yes. That it went a little, I got a little, that's the one thing what I need to ask other show hosts is how to handle when these things happen in relation to the schedule when it doesn't go according to plan. I think this is what my anxiety plays in, but I try to keep it, you know, back on track. Yeah,